my name is Raymond Nowacki, and I did my presentation on the movie Pi. So a summary, it's about Max Cohen, a number theorist who's searching for a pattern to accurately predict the stock market and what the point values for different stocks will end up being. In doing this, he attracts the attention of both a Jewish kind of subgroup looking for the same number that he is, as well as a stock brokerage. For obvious reasons, they want to be able to predict what the stock market will look like. And he eventually devolves into madness, and just under the looming pressure of the two different interest groups trying to pressure him into giving them the number that they're looking for, he devolves into madness and shaves his head. And yeah. So I saw a very kind of clear connection between him and Jason Padgett, who's a real-life person who, I don't know if it's so much suffers, but has an acquired savant syndrome, which basically means after some trauma to the head, you acquire savant-like symptoms or abilities. So a savant is someone who is very, very skilled in their field. So Jason Padgett was just an average high school kid. He was about to graduate, didn't get good grades, hated mathematics. Anyways, he got hit in the head. He, I think, was in a mugging and got hit in the back of the head with a baseball bat. And after this, he started to see patterns in everything and was drawing pictures kind of like that and saw all these patterns in nature, which Max Cohen in the movie does as well. So he sees all these patterns in other things and thinks that he should be able to apply to the stock market as well. So some of the mathematics in Pi. It talks a lot about the Fibonacci sequence, which I'll go into more. It talks about the golden spiral, which is also a part of Fibonacci in a way. And Euclidean geometry is where he starts with, but then he figures that it's the pattern he's looking for is nonlinear. So he has to kind of look at other different, more along those lines, which doesn't go too deep into, but he has to go into some other things to figure out what it is that he's looking for. Da Vinci's ideal man, that's another thing that he looks into because that has to do a lot with Fibonacci's sequence as well and the golden spiral. And talks a lot about Go, which has multiple different possibilities for a game of Go. Like no two games of Go have ever been the same because of how many possibilities, supposedly. And yeah, he kind of decides that if you think about it with the game of Go, the farther along you progress in the game, the fewer and fewer possibilities there are. So he uses this idea to eventually try and come to the conclusion that there is a number that will give him his pattern that he's looking for in the stock market. So Fibonacci in nature, this is a very common thing to see in nature, those spirals. Like as you see here, hurricanes, they follow that kind of general spiral shape. Shells, flowers, plants, lots of different things do. And what Fibonacci's sequence is, if you don't know, is it's just 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on. You just add the number before and the next number to get your following number. So 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 3 equals 5, 1 plus 2, 3. So that's how you get those numbers. And the way that the golden spiral and Fibonacci's sequence are related is if you were to take the numbers in his sequence and translate them to side lengths of a square, and you put them concentric, like say that's 1 unit, and then you have another one that's 1 unit, then you have one that's approximately 2 units right there, and then approximately 3 units, and then you draw from here up around to there, you get this kind of spiral shape that's found everywhere in nature. Like I said, plants, hurricanes, galaxies, everything seems to follow this pattern. And this is what Max decides is the area to look for his number that he's wanting to find. So my review for it is 4 out of 5 stars. It was kind of hard to follow at times because he was kind of schizophrenic and anxiety-ridden, so it was really difficult to follow because it would continually start the day over and over, and he'd be seeing different visions, and it was just difficult to follow at times, but overall it was a very good movie, and I recommend it.
All right. One thing that's interesting